All right, y'all. Are you ready to talk? Welcome, everyone. If you're new here, it's wonderful to have you join us. If you've been here before, welcome back, Original Earth Angels, and welcome back to however you like to identify yourself as a spiritual being. This is Anonnie's Temple, and you can call me Anonnie. I am a tarot reader and a channeler for the Most High Divine Source and Creator of all things and Christ consciousness. And I'm here to deliver the prophecy reading. So I feel that today we're going to have a tarot channel and chat. Maybe I will end up pulling some tarot cards, but more so this is a chat, between all of us here. And I wanted to share something with you, which is a download that I received many weeks, I would say even months ago. They're telling me months ago. Thank you, Divine Creator. Thank you, benevolent spirits, entities, and beings and interdimensional beings, benevolent to my own and to the harm of none. Thank you, benevolent ancestors, and to all these beings for joining me on this day and in this time and in this space. Thank you for your protection against all forms of evil eye or delinquencies. Thank you for securing my stability and well-being. Thank you for honoring my health, my vessel, and my psyche and spiritual inheritances. Thank you, divine angels and archangels of benevolence to me as well, and to the greatest good, to the glory of the Most High Divine Creator of all things. I give gratitude. Glory be to thee, Ashe. I don't think I wasn't going to do this, but I think I'm going to turn the lights out and we're going to get into this reading. We're going to get into this download. All right, y'all. So there's something specific that I actually want to talk about today. This message is for those who have felt attracted to this channel and to the space of the internet where I hold space. It's for those who have had premonitions. And this message is for those who have had so many premonitions that you've come to recognize, whether you want to pay attention to them or not, the premonitions are always there. This message is for those who have been given the gift of premonition and the gift of prophet, of being able to be, having the capacity to be a prophet. I'm sure that many of you have found this corner of the internet, just like how I created it for that very reason. So, the Most High shared with me a download weeks ago, and as I shared, they said months ago. We have the Three of Pentacles. And they shared this message because they were telling me that I was watching too much television. I'm just going to say it like that, right? Whatever. Okay? Okay. All right. So my guides were telling me, divine angels and archangels were also telling me, in my highest self, they were like, Anonnie, you're watching a lot of television. And for me, I was conflating watching a lot of television with relaxation, right? But I've come to realize that that's not always the case, right? So, ever since I was young, ever since I was a child, I've always really been fond of television. you know, almost like having been through lifetimes where there is none, it's like you like to sit in front of the television and see what it prophesizes back to you about reality, right? And I remember being a child and, like my mother, my grandmother saying like, oh, get out. What do they say? Get out from in front of the television set, the world card here. Yeah. Looking through portals. Six of Cups. Okay. They don't want me to talk about my past anymore. So I'm not going to do that. Five of Pentacles. Yeah. They're not going to do that. They don't want me to talk about it. Um, so what I'll say is, couple months ago, my guides came to me and they were talking about how much like television I was watching. And, I didn't really think that much about it because I thought, oh, well, in my downtime, I'm relaxing. In my downtime, I'm engaging in entertainment. When I'm not doing work, I kind of want to sit around. Isn't that something that we like to do? When we're not feeling so tortured, or so to speak, about the everyday reality, we like to escape to a television show or to some other alternate reality where we can imagine what it's like to be somewhere else. And so as I shared, I didn't think too much about it. But every couple of weeks, this download comes back through again. And this download says to me, is this the reality that you would like to be living? They're showing me here, how people develop parasocial, I think it's called, message here. How people develop parasocial relationships with like people on social media, that type of thing, where they feel like they know them or something like that, or like they're friends with them. I feel like folks haven't necessarily really looked into like para-reality relationships, where you see how some people become so obsessed with, the world of Isnay D or whatever. Or people become so obsessed with the world of the H. Potter. Okay? And it's really truly because there's a part of resonance that they recognize within themselves in that reality or in those stories. 808 on my clock. Thank you, Divine. But when I was watching, so many television shows, I started to get this download again and again every couple of weeks. Like, is this the reality you want to be living? Or is this the reality that you like to see? Is this an experience you would like to have? I had to actually be present with my own self. 8:44 on my clock. And I had to be honest with my own self and say, why am I watching all of these K dramas? Why do I watch so many, cooking shows? Why am I watching shows that have so much drama, so much chaos? Why is that entertaining? And what aspects of these scripts and these storylines are reflecting a need or a wound or a desire in my own psyche for my own living experience? They're telling me to say it here that and you see that television is a trap for the prophets. Even the pleasure that we feel holding the remote control, or actually, honestly, what I say is I say the channel changer. Okay? The hanged man here, yeah. They're saying that television actually, for the prophets, it keeps you suspended in time. Okay, but we'll get there. Thank you, Creator. I'm hearing here that it's even this type of pleasure of holding the remote control in your hand and flipping through channels that give the same sensory stimulation as the prophets, flipping pages, so to speak, through the Akashic records. Or through the storybooks of time. Have you ever been channeling? Or I'll say it this way, have you ever been channeling, right? In the process of channeling. And it's like you can feel yourself flipping through pages, or you can feel pages being flipped in your mind, or in the ever present space of all consciousness. You know, it was interesting, and I'm still on this same topic here. I was watching a Christmas movie. I was watching one of the Muppets Christmas movies, and I had never seen it before. And so I was like, oh, wow. You know, like I'm a huge Muppets fan. I love that type of reality. I do it. Like it resonates with me. Muppets resonates with me, and claymation movies really resonate with me. Um, and so I had never seen this Muppets Christmas movie, and so I was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to watch this. I'm so excited, right? And in the beginning of this movie, they show who they presume, or I'll say it this way, one of the characters is Whoopi Goldberg, and Whoopi Goldberg plays the Most High. Whoopi Goldberg plays God, so to speak. And one of the angels who's watching over one of the Muppets who's having a difficult time runs over to Whoopi Goldberg, which they're showing again once more that the Most High Divine is a Black woman, so to speak, okay? But this angel runs over to Whoopi, and they're, distraught, like, oh, you need to watch over this Muppet. They're having such a difficult time. Like, I'm afraid that they'll start to give up on themselves, that they'll start to give up on faith in the divine. And so Whoopi goes over, and she actually is in this garden, but she walks over with the angel to a couch. Okay? So they go to sit on this couch, and Whoopi looks over at the man playing this angel and says, okay, which channel is this Muppet on? Which channel is this Muppet on? And then the angel hands Whoopi Goldberg something that looks a little bit like an iPad, so to speak. And she flips through the channels and gets the Muppets' coordinates, and then watches what is happening to this Muppet in real time, as though she is watching television. And I found that to be so interesting, and how, in media projects, they tell you without really, really telling you. And so when I was watching that movie, it really made me reflect, how much time as a prophetess, how much time do I really spend suspended in time? Because I am allowing prophets, or I'll say it this way, I am allowing prophecies to be told to me by the television, instead of being the prophetess herself, or the prophet himself. So I really looked at my schedule after I watched that movie, and I thought, wow, on Mondays I have like these shows that I watch. Then on Tuesday I watch this show. Then Wednesday there's no updates. Then Thursday at 3 a.m. I know this other show comes on. And then I watch a show on Friday, and then on the weekends I do whatever. And then I start the week over again, watching this cyclical roster of television TV shows. And I'm wondering, why am I getting so caught up in watching so many channels, which are meant to be media representations of collective consciousness? And all the while doing this, spending time wasting time, and being fairly sedentary. And so, this is why I want to share this with love, share this with care for those who are the prophets and the prophetesses, for us to truly recognize who is telling us our visions and how much time are we spending being told what the visions are meant to be. Because I bet that you know that if enough of the prophecy creators or the prophecy dictators, the prophets, if enough of us watch a particular movie, show, script, or storyline, that even the power of our manifestation even the power of our cognitive manifestation capabilities may even show up stronger to manifest that television vision. And I feel here that this is where a lot of people can get caught. And this is why I say it's in a form of being a trap for the prophets. Because I think we are naturally attuned to wanting to flip through the pages of a book, to flip through all of the data sequences of the multiple realities which are out there. But haven't you noticed that there are seemingly an infinite number? I know it's not infinite, but seemingly there's this plethora of media available for all of us to watch at the tip of our fingers. So there are so many different realities for prophets and prophetesses to tap into, to wonder about, to look at the recordings of all of humanity. There are so many television shows out there for us to watch. Hey Mo, how's it going? Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Swords. Most High is talking about how like something is picking up here. And I feel like this is the way that it has always been. It's almost like when you have someone, they're showing me like in another lifetime, it would look like someone who is a prophet or a prophetess, but they've locked themselves away in their own library. You see, because what the Most High Divine has shown me is that the sedentary nature of television for the prophets specifically actually stagnates the energy. And when prophets and prophetesses are in a state of mobility or they're in a state of action, they're saying, think of it like I don't know if I would say the escalator, but that like traveling escalator that's flat when you're at the airport. It's like you stand on it, but the ground is still pushing you forward. But when you're sedentary, you are not actually contributing your specific or your unique prophets or prophecies, which you can channel to push forth multiple timelines that need the momentum of your vision and of your eyes being laid upon them. Instead, your eyes are transfixed on a television telling you the prophecy. So this is why I feel it's important, and this is even a reflection for my own self, to stop watching so much television and to see what other prophecies naturally flow through you. Because I'm hearing prophets are actually energetic generators. So we not only read the energy that has I'm hearing like the fastest data sequence, but we also add momentum because we're adding our profit energy now to that as a probable outcome, to the timeline as a probable outcome. So, this is why it is significant for those who are prophets to actually maintain momentum and mobility in their own lives. Because I bet that you can feel at times energy when it is stagnant. It is because then the timeline is stagnant. And I'm not talking about rest. Rest can also be productive. But is television productive for you? So I'm going to make this a shorter message. 10 of Wands here. I feel like, yeah, 10 of Wands and death. You see, there's even this energy here of like television being reliant upon those who are supposed to be delivering prophecies. It's like they want you to carry their narratives on your back so that those scripts in your mind or the blueprints in your mind that these television scripts create for you actually then inform how you're directing the theater of reality. Because recall, delivering prophecies are essentially being the directors creating the film. The directors, and I'm also hearing the producers. Okay. So let me see if there's anything else here that the Most High Divine wants me to share. Be mindful, I'm getting again, of how much television we are watching these days. And I'm going to do the same, y'all. And I'm not just talking about because of the messages and all of the stuff that's on there. I'm pretty much getting because it's like asking Chat GPT to read a book for you. You're not exercising your prophecy skill set. Okay? All right. Is there anything you want to show? Okay. Is there anything you want to I heard NBCC. Okay, I'm just going to put that out there. There could also you could also switch the letters around, but I'm not going to name the specific channel. Okay? What do you want to show me about this message, divine creator of all things, regarding television and it being a trap for the prophets? Thank you, creator. 9 of Swords, you see. This is another point I want to make as well. So, in a time where my life was very stressful, and I'm talking about cognitive overload, mental stress, needing to intellectualize like 98% of my time, it put me in this consistent state of anxiety because I was worshiping the mental space too much. I was worshiping the cognitive abilities that I had too much. So I was spending so much time in that. And when I was so stressed out mentally, I started to get more into watching television. And I actually ended up watching a lot of competitive TV shows that also reflected back to me all of the mental stress that I was under. So, for instance, I was watching, like Hell's Kitchen. Tell me, why in the world is that show even a form of entertainment when the entire show is a humiliation ritual? But instead of recognizing within my own self that I needed to slow down, that I was too stressed out, that I needed to purge in my life what was causing so much cognitive overload, instead I allowed myself to be told a vision that there is some reality I can watch where this is normal. And so again, then it brings me to the question my guides would ask me, is this the reality you want? Do you want this? You keep watching it. And it wasn't necessarily a good or a bad thing. It was a neutral statement. If you keep watching Hell's Kitchen, well, you're going to need to recognize that you'll continue to be in hell, so to speak. You'll continue to, or I'll say they're saying it this way, then I would prolong the state of stress and it would become long overdue. Show me a bit more about this Nine of Swords here with television and the prophets, please. They're telling me that some of you may even have a news anchor who is antagonizing you, or they have antagonizing energy here because you're a prophet or a prophetess. I feel like that's future energy that is coming through here because no one wants to watch the news anymore. We want prophets. We want people who will tell us about the nature of reality, the nature of time, and give us comfort surrounding the nature of humanity and our evolution. Thank you, Divine. So for some of you, there could even be like a news channel. Yeah, you see news and channeling there. Yeah. There could even be a news channel that keeps track of prophets. Okay? We're going to put that off to the side though. Thank you, Creator. Show me, what else can you show me about television, if anything else, and prophets, please? Four of Pentacles. Okay, Nine of Swords and Four of Pentacles is someone who's afraid. This is someone who could have a failing business, so they just want to get up and go. Show me, please. Also, recognize or see here that there's a little fire in the background. So there is some type of energy where someone or a group of people are experiencing little fires everywhere. And they feel like they want to cut their losses and just go. It's keeping them up at night. Yeah, this is specific. Thank you, Creator. There we go. 10 of Cups in the reversed. Thank you. King of Cups in the reversed. Oof, okay. And the Wheel of Fortune here. So this is a bit of a different message that's coming through aside from the television message. But they're saying something here about how there is some generalized disappointment here regarding masculine energies who are prophets, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's you specifically. There's something here about like the disappointment in how masculine energies are generally taught to not honor their intuitive capacities here. There's another way that I can read this too, where there could be a masculine energy in the family who is having a breakdown because of the timeline that they chose. Okay? I'm not going to get too much into this energy, but let's see. Why would you like to show me this King of Cups, please? Yeah, Page of Wands, because this spirit wants to talk to me, Page of Wands, because it's also good news, but you need to know about it, right? Again, something here about like a news anchor or a newscaster. Yeah, Page of Wands and the Tower here. There's some type of failed industry that they want to talk about. Thank you. King of Cups with the Judgment here on the fence. Give me some time here. Page of Wands and the Tower. Good news, but it's shocking. But there's an energy here where the good news means that something crumbles, something fails. And that's what this King of Cups in the reversed has been afraid of or terrified of happening this entire time. I'm hearing the closing call, like they're gonna get the email, the phone call saying like, no, we don't need you to come into work tomorrow. That's what they're afraid of here. Someone is afraid that they'll try to show up to work and their desk is going to be cleaned out. They're just waiting for the judgment to hit them on the top of the head, I'm hearing, like a coconut. And isn't that one of the oldest forms of entertainment? Those old, they're showing me some type of like black and white silent film where someone would just get hit over the head with a coconut and the audience would laugh. I feel here like this King of Cups is embarrassed. Let me see if there's anything else I can get here before I close this message out. Show me more about King of Cups, please. Thank you. Page of Cups. Thank you. Page of Cups to the Six of Swords. This is someone who is trying to escape their karma. But this person knows better than that. With the King of Cups in the reversed, I feel like they know that they cannot escape whatever this karma is. This masculine energy could be born in the month of July because they're showing me Cancerian energy here. Again, this could be like a brother. That's what I'm hearing. A brother or a cousin or a stepbrother. You may get some type of, yeah, this is Page of Wands to the Tower here. You may get some type of shocking message that a family member has just fled. Like they fled the country or they just like moved and nobody knows where they went. This King of Cups is trying to save his ass. This is the energy of like, I'm going to pack a duffel bag and just leave and try to go somewhere. They feel like that's a better alternative than whatever this judgment is. But of course, the judgment will catch back up with them again. Okay. Then we have the Seven of Cups here. Yeah, somebody doesn't want to be seen. Four of Cups. Okay. I'm going to try the dragon. Actually, not. Let me try the Kipperish deck and then I'm going to close this out. Let's see what the Kipperish deck will come out with here. Okay. These two. Whoever this King of Cups is, they're terrified because they don't have a lot of money. Yeah, there's a King of Wands coming out here. So this is a masculine energy who is distraught, making bad decisions because they're overly emotional. And they are making impulsive decisions because they're emotional. You see, this is someone who is afraid to take the fall or afraid to take the hit. And they're going to anyway. They're nervous about money. They don't have enough to sustain themselves. Their financial issues are keeping them up at night. And they know with the Wheel of Fortune that this is the cycle that they're on now. It's not like it's going to just be resolved for them tomorrow. They know that this is the Wheel of Fortune. This is the pathway that they're on right now. What's going on with this King of Wands and this family or this Ten of Cups in the reversed? What's going on with this Ten of Cups in the reversed? Hello? A King of Wands wants to talk? What is this about? Seven of Swords to the North Node. Intuitive Kev shit. Oh my gosh, with the divine partner. Okay, this is what I'm going to tell you here. Protection, and then I'm going to close this message out because this is going to get deep. Ice Queen, okay? A couple of videos ago, I don't think it's even up there anymore because I took some of my videos down. I did this reading about a King of Wands energy who cut a cord and then honestly sought revenge for you towards this King of Cups energy. Now, I don't know who this King of Cups is, what they said, what they did to you, but they did something from like a very emotionally immature place. And because essentially, I don't know, they want me to say like this person was butthurt. You know, like that's something that we would say in the 90s or like the early 2000s. It's like somebody who's just like, you know, their ass was hurt. They're embarrassed. This King of Wands is letting you know that whoever this King of Cups is, they stole from you. And this King of Wands went up to this King of Cups and gave him a talking to. This King of Wands also just told me that he gave this King of Cups an ultimatum. That's what happened here. Page of Wands and the Tower here. This King of Cups reversed who came against you received an ultimatum from this King of Wands. You either stay and you get dealt with, or you leave and you never talk to her again. Intuitive Kev, the divine collective energy. Because you're on your North Node. And I'm going to tell you here, whoever this King of Wands is, he's very protective over you. And he did this for your protection. So I don't know if you know this or how you could possibly know this. With the Seven of Cups here, I feel like it's hidden. This King of Wands could have black hair. Yeah, look at this. A karmic masculine. He gave a talking to either an ex or just a karmic masculine in your life who's just a petty bitch. Excuse my language, but that's what this is. This is like a King of Cups in the reversed who wants to be sassy. He wants to be petty, talk shit, that type of thing. Yeah, towards the divine feminine or towards the intuitive Kev energy here, the sweetheart. King of Wands was like, no, I'm not having that. You stole. I caught you stealing. So I feel like he gave a threat. I'm going to be honest. I feel here like he said, you either do this or you pack up your shit and you leave and I never see you again. Justice. I feel here like this King of Wands is for you, working with you in the name of justice and for doing what is right. And what I like to say and what I usually say, honestly, is that there are different types of freedom fighters. Some people will, picket in the roads. Some people will uplift community. Some people will help children, help families. Some people will volunteer at, food pantries or volunteer at shelters or that, all of those things. But other freedom fighters, I feel here kind of work in the night. And that's what I feel here this King of Wands did. Worked in the night to tell someone to get lost. Most High Divine, I'm going to grab a couple more Kipperish. Here we go. Kipperish, can you show me what were the options that this King of Wands gave to this King of Cups in the reversed? This karmic masculine, false document, and Seven of Swords. Yes, somebody lied on you, yeah, okay. I'm going to say it, but give me a second. Emotional pain. Okay, this is what I'm going to tell you. This King of Cups got emotional. They were reactive, and they used your personal information to steal it. Okay. And the King of Wands picked up on this. This King of Wands could have like been on the dark web or saw something on the dark web I'm getting, but I'm not going to get too into that. But whatever this was that this King of Cups in the reverse did with false documentation and Seven of Swords, they could have even tried to sell your identification or something. And they did this with the intention of causing you emotional pain and strife. Entity attachment. Show me. Real love and enamored. That's weird. What's this entity attachment? Eight of Pentacles. Okay. So a part of the plan, false document. This is really peculiar, but it's almost like this King of Cups tried to sell your information so that someone else could take your place, because whoever would take your place has an entity attachment, or they're a hollow shell that would allow an entity to cling to them or to enter into their vessel. I know that's out there and a bit bizarre, but that's what I'm receiving here. That was the plan. Seven of Swords document, make falsified documents, make a shell of a person. Okay. And I feel like this shell of a person, whoever they are, was going to try to pose as you. It's almost like they could have even tried to hire someone on the dark web or something like this to pose as you. Okay. So I'm not going to get too into that because this King of Wands has already handled this situation. We have real love and enamor here. So let's see what this is. Real love and enamored, please. We have child in the reversed here. Not a child, not someone's child. Show me. False narrative that someone is not their child. That is bizarre. False narrative and child in the reversed. So it's actually, I'm hearing you are the father. Okay. I'm not going to get too into that. Thank you, Divine. What else do you want to show me about this King of Wands? Seven of Pentacles. They want me to keep working on it. Four of Pentacles. Trusted and justice. So, Most High Divine, if it's all right, I'm going to end this message here because I feel like it's getting a bit complicated. But what I will say here is there was some type of false narrative that you're not someone's child and you are. And that's why this King of Cups in the reverse is feeling the need to escape, because it brings us back to the there it is. It brings us back to the Four of Pentacles, the poverty that this King of Cups in the reverse is in, because there's someone in a higher position of power who caught on to his games, who caught on to his plans. Someone lied and said that you're not the child or that you're not someone's child, and you are. And then they falsified documents. It could have even been your birth certificate. They falsified these documents through the dark web, and all of this is being revealed. So this King of Cups in the reverse is losing his shit. And a King of Wands here knows exactly the play-by-play that this King of Cups in the reverse is doing. All right. So I want to see if I can, and we had Trustus and Justice that came out. Okay. Which means that there is someone with an authority position who can actually bring in justice into this situation for what this King of Cups in the reverse has done. All right. They said Unicorn Tarot. So I'm going to close this out soon. King of Wands, can you tell us a bit more about who you are and what you do? Who's this King of Wands? Queen of Cups. Yeah, he likes you. And he couldn't stand to, you know what this is? This is like a masculine energy who targets another masculine because he thinks that he's like a wuss. He has no backbone. This King of Cups in the reversed is a coward. There's something here about like when men attack women or something and it makes them look like they're even more of a coward. Like they have no integrity, they have no morals. This King of Wands doesn't stand for any shit like that. And he looks at you like you're a Queen of Cups. You could be a romantic interest of his, but I feel like that's besides the point. He's like, no, you don't treat women like this. Queen of Cups. Especially when it's like this King of Cups in the reversed is harboring animosity towards someone or towards this Queen of Cups who they wanted to be in a partnership with, but maybe that they got kicked out. That's only if the X narrative resonates for you. Show me more King of Wands. Thank you. Hierophant. Thank you. The Hermit reverse. See, this is why the King of Wands, Two of Wands. This King of Wands is helping you because he's just like you. You see, I feel here like this King of Wands is an energy with the Hierophant showing up here, who receives sacred downloads, and the Most High told him to help you. The Hermit reversed, because you are being targeted and because however you are being, you know, what I'll say here is for you, divine feminine energy here, there's been a lot of pressure and maybe you've been isolating yourself with the Hermit energy in the reversed, feeling like people don't understand you, like you're unrelatable to other people, that people don't even try to get to know you, that maybe you're just better off in your own energy, in your own presence. The Most High sent this King of Wands into you to support you as their divine mission. So that's why this King of Wands is I heard that he is defending you with every inch of his life. That's how committed he is to the divine here. Is this King of Wands a prophet? Is that why he's coming through here? Is he a prophet? King of Swords here. Is he a prophet? Queen of Pentacles. I think he is. Show me this here. Hold on. I got a really shitty smell right there. Yeah, we have Justice in the reversed. I don't think that he's a prophet per se, but I think that he... What was this? Five of Wands in the reversed. Okay. I don't think that he's a prophet like how you are. I think that he is just a defense. He's like a defense. He's a part of some type of sacred defense team. Okay? I don't know if it's like a covert organization with the Justice in the reverse telling me that it's like not government affiliated. But whoever this King of Wands is, they're a part of some type of... Give me a second here. I don't want to say like elite brotherhood, but they're a part of some type of sacred ministry of defense for what is of the divine. And there's something here where it's like, if ever I don't know if it's like the timelines, if ever the energetic balance of justice gets out of balance in your life, the King of Wands receives a download to rectify it immediately. And so that's what he does. I don't know how... Message here. He's contracted to do this. 10 of Swords and the Sun. There's someone here who is contracted to make sure that there's not a... I'm hearing that no one can even lay a finger on your hair. Someone is contracted to make sure that you are all right above all odds. 10 of Swords. That all betrayals fail. And not only do they fail, but I feel like with the 10 of Swords here, it's like calling on the banshee or something. It's like calling on the wolf to go after them. Okay? Yeah, 7 of Swords here, 2 of Swords. To corner the enemy, Knight of Cups, in favor of the divine with the archangels there. Knight of Cups and Temperance. So whoever this wolf is, they've been listening to the divine for when you need sacred protection, physical and non-physical protection. Okay? I'm surprised that this came through. Sweetheart, yeah. Okay. They're telling me that there's some type of clause in a contract here. 2 of Wands, Justice. They're telling me there's some type of clause in a contract. Let me say it this way. And I think that this is going to be the last part of the channeling that I do. 5 of Wands, Justice. There's something here about when a contract with the government times out. So let's say perhaps you were a young child who was a part of some of those gifted programs, so to speak. And I feel here like when you're a part of those gifted programs, they never actually stop following you. You always have a team that is assigned to you that will continue to monitor you as you progress through the rest of your life. And I feel here like whoever this King of Wands is, that's one of those people. Five of Wands and Justice. And I feel here like some type of clause or something in a contract has timed out that allows these people who were tasked with keeping track of you all these years to actually be in service for you now as a support for you. I feel here like you may not really, yeah, 6 of Wands and Justice. I don't, they're showing me someone's specific face. And this person is letting me know that I've actually seen them before, but I didn't remember them when I met them. And it's so interesting because I remember when I saw this person, I told them that I remembered their face. And it was just like it was just like when you meet some people and you're like, yeah, you just looked kind of familiar. And then I saw you again and I was like, oh, there they are. This person knows that you don't remember that you've actually seen or met with them in a facility. I think I'm going to close this out. Strength card here. Most High is saying this was a very strong message. Interesting. I'm hearing Schmitty, Warber, Jaeger, Men Jensen in that SpongeBob episode, and he goes, he was number one. At this facility, you may have been given a number. And this masculine could have been number one. Like, you know that show with all the kids that they have on television? Thank you, Divine, for bringing us back to the beginning. That TV show where they have all of those children who are in the gifted program, so to speak. Okay? And they all have a number. Am I right? I'm going to close out the energy of this reading. I hope that was satisfactory, Divine. Let me do final messages just to make sure that Divine is okay with this message. Final messages, please. 4 of Cups. I feel like They're telling me I haven't even hit the tip of the iceberg. Yeah, 4 of Cups, 6 of Swords. They're telling me I didn't get to the part of the message where someone traveled. Interesting. I don't know what this is about, but I'm hearing that somebody could have traveled by a air balloon. What the hell? Or something here like about hot air balloons. You know how they try to say that those are like UAPs or something, or they try something like that? Okay. What do you want to show me about this traveling? Thank you. Queen of Cups to you. You don't know that this person traveled out to you to help you. It's there's something here. They could have traveled by a boat. Maybe that's what I'm getting here too. I'm hearing like they could have traveled by boat because you can cross over like state lines or country lines on a boat. Okay. This person came out to see you somehow. Can you show me anything else? Thank you. The moon. Welcome to the temple. They can't show me any. The moon is like there's more there. There's more to be seen, but I just haven't said it. And this is also representing how this person works in the dead of the night somehow. Where they are covert. They're covert. They're telling me. Okay. All right, let's do final message. Yeah, covert, but they work for the divine. The Hierophant here. Okay. You said you're in suspense on the edge of your seat. Mo, you're so funny. I'm glad you like the message. Okay. Let me what other decks did I even pull from, y'all? Okay, I did Kipperish, I did the Macabre deck. All right, let's do final messages for Kipperish then. Okay? Final messages, Kipperish, please. Thank you. Imprisonment in the reversed. Who got out of jail? Or somebody broke out of a facility? Show me. Divinity. Whoa. Thank you, Most High. Blocked. And boss. Okay, I'm going to tell you something here. I feel like if this message is for the prophets and for the prophetesses, I feel here like you may actually have a wiped memory. I don't want to declare that for you, but what I'll say here is if this message resonates for you, there's a possibility that either in this lifetime or in another lifetime, you were entrapped in a facility by a particular overlord, this boss energy here. And whoever this boss energy was, they would particularly pick out people who are connected to divine energy and try to imprison them in this facility. Okay? In this lifetime, whoever this overlord is or whoever this person was that was running this facility, they've been blocked. Okay? This is something like trying to lock people away and saying that they're crazy. You may have that social wound or that social, what do they do? That social like branding. You know how they like brand animals at a farm? Shit. Okay. That's what I'm getting here. There could be like some type of psyche or vessel wounding here where your body or your psyche remembers this imprisonment that happened for you. Okay. And I feel like whoever your divine counterpart is, they're aware of this timeline. Okay. Final message is Unicorn Tarot, and then I think that's it. Final messages, Unicorn Tarot, please. Four of Pentacles on the fence. And then the Ace of Rods on the fence. And then the Four of Rods in the reversed. I don't know how you want me to read that, Divine. Page of Cups in the reversed. I'm not sure of how Divine wants me to read this. Two of Pentacles. Oh, all the cards are in the reverse. That's why. Show me, Most High. Yeah, the Empress. Okay. What I'm going to share here, and this is going to be the final message. Whatever this facility was or this entrapment that happened for you, you have transcended it as an energy into the Empress energy. Think of that show on Netflix where the girl, she escapes the facility and she becomes one of the strongest mentalists that are in the show. I feel like this is where you're at right now. There's even this boss energy that deliberately tried to block you, who wants to even apologize because of the rank that you have reached now. There are people who you have had falling outs with the Four of Rods in the reversed, who want to apologize now because you have reached this particular spiritual rank. And I'm hearing ranking specifically. Okay. All right, y'all. I think I'm going to close this out, Most High. One more card and that's it, please. Oh, that flew all the way over there. One more card, please. Two. Family and courthouse. Oh, shit. Okay. Thoughts. All right. So that's going to be the final message here. If this message resonated for you, it's for the prophets, the prophetesses, and stagnating energy. For some of you here, your family are aware of this. They could have been trying to put you in a facility your entire life because they know about this DNA wound. They know about that psyche wound. And pretty soon, you'll see them in court. All right. I'm hearing the day of reckoning has come. All right, y'all. I'm going to ring the bell. Let's cleanse the energy. Thank you, Divine Creator, for this message on this day. Glory be to thee. I close out the energy of this reading and all the portals I have been looking and peering within and through. Glory be to the highest creator of all things for the inheritances of my spiritual, physical, and psychic gifts. I am so grateful and so thankful to be in deliverance of these messages, and also to be delivering these messages to the highest and greatest good of all, and to the harm of none, but also in the name of justice. Thank you, Divine, for these visions, these messages, these downloads. Glory be to thee. I close out the energy of this reading. I close the portals and I call my energy back to me, brilliant, purified, cleansed, and abundant. So would it be, and so it is. Ashe. All right, y'all. Thank you for joining me for this evening message. I hope that this tarot and chat has been good to you, just like how all of you have been so good to me. Thank you for joining me at the Temple of the High Priestess. It was good to see you all and good to chat with you in the chat. And I'll see you in the next one. Y'all be good. Bye. Bye, bye, bye. See you. Bye.